Some relationships can weather any storm, while others are more seasonal. They're only here while the heat is on. Here are the signs to tell if it's a summer fling or the real thing. Have you ever been in a summer fling?
Sure, yeah.
No.
Why not?
Why would I?
When I was in university.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's summertime and it's nice. You can hang out in parks and bike, and it's just a nicer time to hang out together.
Okay, well, there's two types of summer romances. One is the type that's never going to make it past the summer, and the other is the kind that might actually have a chance of living. You'll know you're in a summer fling when he hasn't asked you questions that mean anything to you. So if he hasn't asked about what you want to do for your career, about your family, maybe even what your last name is. If he hasn't asked you those things, he's probably not even interested. But if you are engaging on a more emotional level and not just a physical level, this is a sign that your relationship could extend into the fall. If he's never talking about the future, then that's a great sign that he's not thinking about the future. So your relationship will probably end in September. If a guy isn't introducing you to his friends, it means that he doesn't see you as a potential long-term girlfriend. If you do actually meet his friends, but he doesn't introduce you as his girlfriend, this is a sign that it is just a fling and he doesn't see it going any further. If your relationship is only physical, well, it can only go on for so long, because after a while, that's not going to be interesting anymore. At least you won't be connecting on a more emotional level. So that's a sign that your relationship will fizzle when the summer's over.
What do you think the disadvantages of a summer fling would be?
When the person has to leave and you're really upset.
I guess because it's just temporary. It should last longer.
Definitely hurts other people involved in the relationship prior.
I don't know, summer's really hot, you get really sweaty. Sunburnt, and it's not the most romantic kind of way to be around a boyfriend.
Well, do it in the shade, right? I mean...
There's nothing wrong with having a summer fling. It's perfectly normal, perfectly healthy, but the only thing is both people have to know it's a summer fling. I think if one person wants something more and the other person doesn't, then that can lead to some troubles.
Well, summertime is a time for love, so you're always in the mood. You've got more time in the day to spend with that person. And it's just more exciting, I guess.
I think each summer everyone goes through one.
Yeah.
It's the nice weather and the fun of the summer.
It's just fun. It's all about fun. Going out, doing new things.
Summer flings are fun and free, but if your fun in the sun is giving you a bad burn, my advice is to cool off in the shade. You got lots of time. Don't forget to use protection for the sun.
Communication is the most important part to any relationship, but the way he chooses to do so may be a window into his personality and what he's like to date. It's time to decode his speaking style.
I really like that movie.
You really like that movie? The movie was brutal. The lighting was flat, the direction was terrible, no continuity. 2 hours of my life, I don't think I'll ever get back.
The debater will challenge you as quickly as his mind works, but debating pros and cons is his way to get to know you better. If you like him, don't be wishy-washy. Someone without an opinion bores him.
What do you think?
I don't know.
I'm a debater. I will, because I like a girl who can hold up her own in a conversation. If she can't do that, there's no interest in what she's saying. And after that, it's just no point.
The benefits are that when you win a debate, you win, which is better than losing.
For a bit of a challenge, kind of. But at the same time, I'm kind of opinionated.
So when you're dating a debater, it actually is really tough because he's going to challenge you on everything you say. So a key is throw it back to him, challenge him, and stand up for what you believe in. He'll actually like it.
Actually, you know what? I was thinking, I saw this bike on Craigslist, and it's like a retro bike. It's like maybe from the 60s. It's $100, and I thought maybe if I bike to work and bike back home, I could blow up steam, right?
The listener. This guy is the strong, silent type. He does what every girl looks for in a man and actually lets you talk instead of waiting for his turn to speak. But beware, just because he's quiet doesn't mean he's always listening.
I don't really jump to conclusions or answers. I kind of take in the whole story before I figure out what to say back, which it kind of makes me seem nervous and shy, but a lot of it's just thinking, probably too much.
The pros, I guess, girls like to be listened to, or at least I think.
You might think they're too quiet, too reserved, but I think there's a lot more going on in their head than they let on.
So the listener is essentially every girl's dream. He's sensitive, he's romantic, he listens to you, and he actually is really in touch with his feelings. That's why he's such a good listener. But it's important that as his girlfriend, you try to bring something out of him to help him challenge you, instead of just listening to everything that you say.
I'm having some big problems in this relationship.
You know what, Steph? That totally reminds me of the time I went camping and I lost my cell phone. Can you believe that? I gotta tell you this story. The storyteller. I know this guy because, well, he's me. He's creative and charming, if I do say so myself, but he's more likely to share an anecdote than his feelings. You might also need to fight for airtime. Anyway, I'm not sure if I answered your question. What were we talking about again?
I think I'm a storyteller.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Can you define what a storyteller is?
Just someone who probably likes to talk. I don't know.
So, I mean, when you're a storyteller, I mean, you can either set a good mood and set a story, or you can bore the hell out of someone. I don't know. So you gotta throw yourself out there. If he doesn't want to get the drink, get her home, and then go home and call it a day and just debate about it.
It's good to hear like fun stories, but maybe that person might talk too much.
So a storyteller's a really great boyfriend. He's very entertaining, but it's tough to know whether the stories are real or fake. So try getting his opinion on how he feels about the story, and this can lead to a more deep discussion between the two of you.
Speaking style is something you can pick up on pretty quickly. Just make sure it's genuine. Just because he can talk the talk doesn't mean he could walk the walk.